All right, so before we get into this video, I just want to give a quick thank you to my man, Dylan Morgan. I appreciate your comment, man. I love your support, especially when people drop these comments down below. Like, it just gives me so much motivation to continue making these videos and just to provide more value to you guys. So every single person who watches these videos, thank you so much. The fact that you received any value out of this just makes me complete, if I may. But without further ado, thank you so much, my guy. I do appreciate you, and let's get into the video. What is going on, guys? My name is Shahir Shahid, aka Shahir Punks. And in this video, we're not going to be talking about a specific NFT project. We're actually going to be talking about something related with Bitcoin, and more specifically, it's called the Opendime, which is a Bitcoin stick, essentially. It's from CoinKite, and I highly recommend it. I was able to get 3 of these for about 50 bucks. They also sell cold storage wallets. I highly recommend it. They're super safe, super secure, and they're off the grid. Now, what exactly is an Opendime? So Opendime is this USB stick, almost 2 inches in length, and what it allows you to do is basically spend Bitcoin like a physical dollar. So what this does, it really just makes Bitcoin more tangible and easy to hand over like cash. So imagine if you were supposed to give somebody a gift, you might as well put the BTC on an Opendime and give it to them physically. Or let's just say you want to go buy a Tesla and Tesla accepts Bitcoin. You can go out, put your Bitcoin on the Opendime and give it to Tesla directly, and that'll be done right on the spot, quick. Now, something to note is that there's no private key pre-installed on the device on the USB stick. You basically go through a series of process. It's pretty simple on just generating the private key, and the only way that you can even retrieve and sweep the Bitcoin off the USB, the Opendime, is if you break a seal, which is kind of break a circuit within the device that allows you to retrieve your private key and sweep your Bitcoin. So now let's actually go ahead and get started with setting up our Bitcoin stick. It's so quick and simple. There's no additional software that you have to download in order to set it up. It's a matter of me plugging it in, me generating a private key, and then transferring some Bitcoin onto it. So let's just get started. All right, so we've made it to the desktop. I'm just gonna plug in the Opendime into the computer, and it's showing me some green flashing lights, which is a good sign, and perfect. So we got the drive right here. I have a PNG file, which I'll go further into depth once I open it up. So you get 4 options. You get 2 folders and then 2 text files. Readme.txt is important because these are just a bunch of instructions that you should definitely read to make sure that everything is going good. There's no red flashing lights. So this is just for precaution's sake. So I do suggest you read the instructions, but I'm just gonna go ahead and first of all, generate a private key. So what you're gonna wanna do is basically have a picture that's off the public domain to actually generate the private key. This process is called hashing, where you are translating a given information or key into a code. So I'm gonna go ahead and drag this into the folder. It's gonna read it, and then it's gonna give me some information. It's gonna plug out automatically, and then it's gonna come back in just like that. I'm gonna open it up, and then voila, it gives us the private key. However, we can't access the private key because it's currently sealed. But it does give us our public address, which is stated right here, and then also a QR code, which I will use shortly to transfer the BTC. Now, just to fully understand what we just did by dragging and dropping the PNG file into the device, is that we basically passed data from the picture into the algorithm within the device so it can generate a string of random characters. Now, one thing to note is that if you go into the advanced folder and you get 2 options or 2 text files, verify and then verify 2, you can just go ahead and make sure that your device hasn't been tampered with, and just make sure that the public key is exactly the same. And then every single time you basically plug in and out the device, these numbers would differ. So just make sure that you do verify it and proceed with caution, just to make sure that you're using best practices. The next step is very simple. Let's transfer some BTC onto the device, and we're gonna use that through the QR code. So I'm just gonna go on my Shakepay app right now and transfer a small amount of BTC. Scan the QR code. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and transfer 0.0123 BTC onto the device, and I will send that right now. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna time it. So from the time where I send it out to the time it shows on the Blockchain Explorer, you're gonna be able to see in real time how long it actually takes, just so you guys know. Kind of have OCD, so I like just checking the address one more time just to make sure the QR code is correct, because you can never be too safe. And yep, it's correct. So I'm going to go ahead and confirm. And it says that I have successfully sent the BTC. All right, so I have pulled up blockstream.info. This is where I check all of Bitcoin transactions and whatever's going on in the network. So you can go ahead and use the same website. I'm just gonna go ahead and copy the public address just so I can paste it. And then let's go back. I'm gonna paste it in here, and then I'm gonna search it. So right now it looks like there has been no transactions, and I'm still keeping time. So it has been 2 minutes since we have sent the BTC. So I'm gonna keep the time running and get back to you once I have actually received the confirmation that my transaction has went through. So I just refreshed it one more time, and you can see that the transaction went through, and I was able to send 0.00123 BTC into the Opendime, and I was able to do that in basically 4 minutes. So that's not too bad. It'll definitely be quicker when you're giving the Opendime physically, that's for sure. But that's pretty much it. The BTC is on the Opendime now. So obviously, best practice is to eject the Opendime safely, just to make sure that the files won't corrupt. So just eject it. And one last thing I'm gonna end off with is that there's no backup key or backup phrase or password in order for you to retrieve the Bitcoin. So if you lose the USB stick, you basically lost all the BTC that you had uploaded or transferred onto that. So I highly suggest you don't go all out unless you're being very, very safe on it. So don't put a crazy amount of BTC on it that you're not willing to lose, because it is a physical thing and it can break at any time, and especially if you're carrying it around, it's a huge liability. But aside from that, I hope you guys got a lot of value out from this video. It is something different, but I was dabbling into the space of CoinKite and especially the different products that they have. So I just wanted to share a quick video. If you do have any questions, feel free to ask them down below, and I'll be more than happy to answer those questions for you. Till next time, Sheerpunks out.